Evening everyone. I've just finished a very long but very productive day here at the Rectory with a builder. We've been working again on the upstairs bathroom, so I'm going to show you what we got done. We've started again on this bathroom today, and we've got all the lath and plaster off the ceiling. So we've exposed all the ceiling joists now, and we can see much more clearly how this is all constructed. As you can hopefully immediately see, this bathroom is now almost completely open into one room. We've still got this diagonal piece separating the room and just a few studs up at the top here, but we are almost done. The thing that's really held this up is that the stud wall here was also supporting the ceiling on one side. So what we've spent most of the day today doing was, first of all, ripping all the plaster off the ceiling. But then this afternoon, we've been constructing a brand new ceiling in this room. So we were able to use some of our leftover timber that we took from the false ceilings, and we've built a brand new ceiling. And that will now join up seamlessly with the existing ceiling on the other side of the room, and we can plasterboard over that and build a new ceiling in here. And it's just great, once again, we've just got one big open room, which is going to be our master bathroom. One fun thing about having this open right now is that you can see right up into the eaves cupboard that I've mentioned in a couple of previous videos. That eaves cupboard is actually just above this bathroom, so we get maybe a better view of it now. The other interesting part about this, of course, is that this window, which was divided, is now separate again. I really can't tell whether the division of this window was completely original to the house or whether it's something that was added later. It would be easy to assume that no one would build a house with a window divided like this, but I have a feeling they may have done. So I don't think anybody really knows or ever will know, but there we go. That's now going to be one big sash window going in there. And this is going to be our master bathroom. We just need to decide how to lay it out. We need to decide which of the two entrances to use. And the builder will be back tomorrow to finish taking out these last few studs and finish replacing these final ceiling joists. Here we go, we're finally done replacing this ceiling. We've got all new joists across there, and it's no longer in any danger of falling down. The only thing left to do now is to get these final few wall studs out and this big diagonal, and hope the staircase doesn't fall down. So here goes. know what tool I need for this? Timber! It's now only held up by one nail here. Yeah. So if I take this out, this whole thing is going to come down. Yeah. But is it holding up the stairs? Well, that's very good news. I'm now certain that those stairs aren't being held up by any of that stud work. That whole box around under the stairs seems to have just been cosmetic, so that's great. So the next step would be potentially to remove this wooden panelling here, But Emma's not around, so I'm going to wait and talk to her before I take that off, because she might want to keep that and maybe box this back in again, or we might want to just completely remove it and create a bit more headroom here. And that may also factor into the decision about which of these two doors we use. We'd prefer, of course, to use the big grand door on the right here, but it might make a lot more sense to use the door on the left where the headroom is reduced and there isn't really the option to do much else with that space. And that way the space on the right here would be completely free to be used for our big walk-in shower or whatever we want to put there. So that is something for Emma and I to talk about and to go over with the architect, who is now well underway drawing up our plans. So we'll see where that decision takes us. For now, I've just got all this rubble to tidy up, and then we can move on to the next room. So as you may have gathered, while Emma's ridiculously busy at the moment, I've decided to get a real builder in for a few days to help me out this week, and we're making really great progress. So the next thing he's going to do is to get the ceiling down in the kitchen. Let me just show you the state that's in. This is the kitchen where we removed the false ceiling and found this above it. This absolute state of a ceiling. So we've decided we're just going to completely rip this down back to the original joists and then put a new ceiling up here. We don't have to redo the joists like we did in the bathroom. This will just be a case of stripping it, ready to put new plasterboard on. It's taken us about a day and a half to do that bathroom, so that's pretty good. And hopefully in the next day or so, this ceiling will be completely stripped and clear and ready to be re-ceilinged. And I'm actually really happy about this process of stripping off the old lath and plaster. So there are certainly a few other places in the house where the plaster is just not in good condition at all. And I'm planning to do very much the same thing, just to strip off the old plaster and redo it. Like here's an example, in the middle of the hallway, we've got this plaster which is just, I can't really tell well in the video, but it's just so loose. It's going to fall off anyway. So we're going to replaster all that. And there's some ceilings to be sorted out. But anyway, that's the next job, stripping that kitchen ceiling. So thanks to David, my builder, for helping me get things moving again. While David's downstairs demolishing that ceiling, I thought I'd just have a good clear and tidy of this bathroom. And it is just looking so much nicer now. One technical thing that we're probably going to do, right now, where we removed the toilets, we've got a waste pipe going outside in this corner, and the same on the other side of the window. We've got a waste pipe going out here. But those run outside and then down through a big pipe on the front of the house, which we don't think looks very nice at all. So what we're probably going to do here is to get rid of those pipes that run through the wall. And when we put our, obviously just one toilet in here, we're going to take the pipe straight down through the floor so that it goes down through the bathroom below. And that way we don't need to have any pipes outside, because the bathroom below actually has waste pipe going down into the cellar. So it keeps all the pipes hidden. And all we need to do is just have a little bit boxed in the downstairs toilet room, and we can hide all those pipes away. Before I finish with this bathroom, there's just one more thing I want to show you. Downstairs we found some writing on the wall from a builder who'd done some plastering down there, and in this bathroom we found some more examples of writing on the wall. So I just wanted to make sure I got a really clear shot of this. This says G. Harris, and that is the same guy who did the plastering downstairs, and that's October 1946. And someone's written, someone was here as well underneath. I'm not quite sure I can read that properly, but perhaps you guys can. And then I think this one is even older and even more interesting. And I hope the camera can capture this. This one's got a signature, and I believe it says 1901. And it says, this stair was fixed by the Right Honourable George Coombs, assisted by somebody whose name I can't read. So there's a bit more of the builder history, and a slightly older one. I absolutely love this. I should probably sign some of these myself when it comes time to put things back together. I think that's it for this week's video. I'm not going to be here tomorrow, but the builder's going to come back for one more day, and he's going to finish stripping all the plaster off this ceiling and just tidy up this rather impressive mess. Thanks for watching, and I will hopefully show you this finished next time.